Yo, it's your boy Zashi back again with another vid, and today we're going to be talking about this Young Thug interview that he had with the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. Now, this podcast was pretty interesting, man. Thug doesn't really do a lot of interviews, so this interview was really great. Thug definitely spit some game on this for the young boys that's trying to come up. They definitely asked some good questions to Thug, and Thug definitely gave some insight to what's going on. He also talks about first meeting Wayne and how he felt like a little disrespected and all that. And we're gonna get into it all. We're gonna get into it all in this video, man. Let's get it started. So yeah, man, this interview was really great, man. The podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game, they asked a lot of great questions to Thug, like what made him think, what made him, great questions like the sound which Thug was making, which was completely different and not the norm in hip hop during that time. What made him want to have a new sound? What made him want to be different from everyone else? And Thug just basically says he was just being himself, man. He was just being himself, and he didn't even know it at the time. The only person who really knew that Thug was changing the game was probably Drake. And Thug also talks about how in hip-hop you can only go so far. Like, you can only reach a certain pinnacle, like a Drake status or Jay-Z type status. And then they're just going to wait on your downfall, to be honest. So unless you go pop or alternate in music. So Thug is always thinking ahead, he's always viewing things, how can I take this to the next level? How can I take my music to the next level? Thug was definitely inspired by a lot of artists. He said the most he's inspired by was Wayne, of course. He looked up to Wayne a lot. He even got tattoos of the man, of Wayne and his gang and all that. He explained, like, meeting Wayne, he didn't even know, and when he first met Wayne, he describes it as, Wayne didn't even acknowledge him like that, leaving him hanging, and dapping him up like a little, light dap, not even a full dap. So Thug felt disrespected in a way, which I get, man. You're meeting your idol, and your idol is not who you perceived he was. So it makes a lot of sense for me, man. I'd probably feel disappointed too, man, if I met an idol and he wasn't who I thought he portrayed to be. But Thug also says that he inspires a lot of artists too. So he don't get mad at people trying to bite off his flow because of the sound that he was doing, since Thug created his own sound. So you don't see Thug doing IG videos saying, yo, this boy's copying my flow. These people are copying my flow. I started this shit. He says, and I quote, I'm the reason you want to be like me. So why would I get mad at you? If I'm going to be mad at you, I'm going to be mad at myself. So he looks at it as inspiration, because he's inspiration for a lot of these rappers, for sure. Like Lil Keed, Gunna, and some other artists, for sure. And Thug always also talks about, like, he had a plan from the very beginning. He just needed the platform, like signing a label. His first when he first got signed, it was a shitty deal, for sure. But he just needed that to propel himself to the next level, because he had a plan that he was going to get out, which he did. And he just needed the machine. He had all the tools. He just needed the machine to work and help him propel himself to the next level, which, as we all know, he did, for sure. And he's also saying, like, people gotta the older people, they gotta listen to the young niggas, man, because the young people, they got some interesting ideas, man. And he thought that Wayne probably looked at him as a little nigga. I mean, like, look at it from this perspective. You're Lil Wayne. You're like the biggest rapper in the world. And you have a young cat that looks up to you in Thug, but you think he's trying to copy you because he has a tattoo of you, a tattoo of your gang, all that. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Lil Wayne was looking at him like a little nigga, but Thug says Wayne probably regrets doing that, to be honest, and not trying to, like, take him in, how basically how he did Drake maybe and Nicki. That's how I'm interpreting it. But it seems to me that Wayne and Thug might be cool again, since Thug was on the No Ceilings 3 tape, and Thug talks about like he don't want to be treated like how Wayne treated him back then. So when he meets like young cats trying to come up and all that, he gives them good game that he would take himself. And he says that you can cap to a lot of people, but you can't cap to yourself. So you gotta have the determination, the grind, the perseverance to become a great artist. You just gotta have that mindset, man. You can't lie to yourself about this. Thug also talks about how he understood way more while he was poor than he's rich right now. He understood while way more during his struggle trying to come up and all that. And the guys in the pod, they gave some good games, saying listen while you're winning, for sure, because it's easy to mute all the flash, all the spotlight, everything in the spotlight blinding you from what's really important, you know. And it's great to listen to people that will hold you accountable, even that love you, because the people that truly love you and fuck with you like that, they're gonna criticize, but have good criticism towards what you're doing. They're gonna give you some advice, great advice as well, and basically just listen while you're winning, man, because it's easy to mute all the bullshit that's coming in your way. And later on in the pod, they talk about doing a verses. They ask him who Thug would match up with really well in the verses. And they were talking about Meek, maybe Uzi, but Thug came out and says he wants to do a verses with Wayne, probably, which to me is pretty fucking wild, because Wayne got smashes, but how the way Thug explained it is, you got to account the influence that he's had in the culture, as well as the impact of his sound, which is relatable because Wayne had the same impact as well as Thugger, not as big. Thugger doesn't have the impact as big as Wayne did, you know, but Thugger definitely is like one of the grandfathers of the Atlanta hip hop scene, for sure. Like, his sound was created and lots of people are just using that or influenced by that, for sure. So I can see why he says he would want to do a versus with Wayne, because it's just different. Because plus, if he does verses with Meek and all that, they're like they're lyrical miracle type people, you know. So it does sort of make some sense why he says he would do one with Wayne. But I think Wayne would still beat him for sure. Anyways, the interview continues on, and they say that Thug is definitely one of the most influential artists of all time, which I believe is 100% true. Thug has definitely influenced a lot of artists since he came out, man. By how whenever Thug does something, no one really says anything about him. Like, he did some suspect shit, but no one, because the streets knew, like, Thug's really about that shit. So if Thug's gonna do something, you ain't really gonna say something about it unless you talk to him or some shit. Like him having a dress, putting a dress on and all that, the attire he was wearing. But now that you saw Thug do that, we have artists like Uzi being himself, doing all the other stuff that Uzi does. You know how Uzi is. And other artists as well, man. It makes sense. Just being himself. And Thug explained, like, you didn't see people saying shit about Prince when he had his ass out, which is funny, which is very funny. But yeah, man, it holds true. It holds true. Like, they ain't gonna say something if you popping like that. So, like, and if you're really about that, because Thug is definitely about that. He's as Thug says, he's a big stepper. So yeah. Thug also talks about putting his people on, his artists. He has around 10 artists under his label, and he don't want all the money to himself, man. He wants all his people to eat, and one of his goals is to get a bunch of money, sell his label, and then have his artist have a share of all that money. Cause he don't want all that money. He thought he knew he thought he wanted all the money, and he realizes I want to make all my people grow. I want all my people to be wealthy. I need all the people around me to continue to grow. So that's Thug's goal right now, man, to uplift his artists, have them to grow. And Thug also talks about the importance of content. He talks about his next album coming up, which is going to be the compilations, which I believe is going to be titled Slime Language 2, coming out next year. And he says that he has a crew for filming about like the making of the Slime Language 2 and the importance of making content for people, especially now in this age, for sure, man, where content is continuously coming up every day. There's mad content to watch. And Thug also talks about Jay-Z, saying that Jay-Z ain't got 30 songs that everyone know, but in the stage, but he backpedals and explains that he's not really meaning Jay-Z. He's saying that most artists that he's done shows with, he gets a little confused, like, damn, these fans don't know this song, they don't know that song. But when he's on stage, everyone knows his songs, like 30 of his songs, word for word. So I can see why he said that, but I don't know, Jay-Z ain't got nothing really to do with it. As Thug put it up on his Instagram. But yeah, man, Thug definitely had a great interview in this. He also talks about how he's listening to more music. He's listening to great music from down in Florida, representing Florida right here, which is really great. I'm hoping, and I truly believe that Florida will be the next state to get their recognition for sure. Florida's going to be the next up to get the recognition for the rap scene. I believe Florida sound is great, man. The Florida vibes, Florida rap scene has been going crazy, and it's only going to go crazier for sure. So it's good to see that Thug is listening to down here in Florida, man. It's really great to see that. So yeah, man, that's basically like a little gist of what the interview was. The interview was a really great interview of Thug. You don't really see too many Thug interviews like that. Thug looked like he was having a good time with the boys in that. And yeah, man, he gave a lot of game, talking about Uzi. He also talked about like raising Uzi, like giving Uzi some game. He's like, yo, I'm gonna be doing some shit. He's basically giving Uzi like the plan, like, yo, I'm gonna do this. So you might have to do that when you start popping. Like, he was giving Uzi game before Uzi really popped off that he is now. So yeah, man, like this interview was great, man. Please let me know what you guys think of the video. Please make sure you like, subscribe, all that. Peace.